Okay, I'll keep this brief, but I want to just mention this Anita Sarkeesian Sargon of Akkad VidCon thing, and I've had a quick look before making the video in case there's been any sort of new developments there. If there has, and I'm behind the times, bollocks. But it doesn't look like there has. I said to a few people I weren't going to comment on it because I didn't have enough to say, but I found the reaction that people have had to it so interesting that I'm probably as interested in the reaction than I am in actually what happened. If you're not aware, if you're the one fucking person on YouTube who isn't aware of this, Sargon of Akkad and a few of his mates have attended VidCon as a bit of a fucking jolly, let's be honest, and they went to watch a panel that Anita Sarkeesian was on, a discussion of women online or some shit like this, and they were sat there and she singled him out from her position on the stage and called him, amongst other things, a piece of human garbage. That was what has happened, and Sargon of Akkad has made an issue, said he's offended by this, that she shouldn't have done this, and he's calling upon VidCon effectively to have her removed as a speaker. Okay, first thing is I've noticed quite a number of people getting really hot under the collar that Sargon of Akkad is milking this. He's fucking milking it, they're saying. Right? He's trying to get some mileage out of this. Of fucking course he's milking it. Jesus Christ. This is the thing, right? And I can say this. He's milking it, but so fucking what? What the fuck do you expect other than for him to milk it, right? I don't attribute any blame whatsoever to him for milking it. It's so naive to think otherwise. And I can say that and hold my head up high and say that because I've mentioned this before. And the last time I was defending somebody else for doing this, the person that I was defending for doing this was Anita fucking Sarkeesian herself. Because I made a video, and I'll link it below, just so you know, it's all out in the open. What she had done is, she'd had 2 talks that she cancelled, one because of a gun threat and one because of a bomb threat. In at least one of those cases, before the talk was cancelled, before any of that had happened, the police had looked into it and said, there's nothing behind this, carry on, but she cancelled it anyway. And as a result of all of that, it added another $50,000 onto a fucking Kickstarter, and she got another round of interviews and headlines in the newspapers, right? And she got a lot of criticism. Oh, she's milking it. She's fucking milking these threats. Fucking course she was milking the threats. What do you expect her to do? The point I made at the time is that is one of the reasons why you don't make threats like that. One, you don't make it because they're nasty things to do. But the other thing is it just plays into the other person's hand. Because when you have a situation such as we have now in our culture, when a premium is put on oppression, right, where there's some merit to being offended, where being offended is one of the puts you in a position of strength and authority, then of course people are going to take advantage of that. And so it was a really fucking stupid thing to do to make those threats to Anita Sarkeesian. It played into her hands. It was a really fucking stupid thing for Anita to do because it plays straight into Sargon of Akkad's hands. It makes him the offended party, doesn't it? It makes him the wronged party there. Of course he's going to fucking milk it. Okay, so what he did as a result of this is that he started this position to have a deplatform, no platform from the panel that she was going to be on then on the Saturday. That's all been and gone now. But there was a lot of sort of controversy. Should he do that? Is he being hypocritical? Should she be removed from that? Should she be no platformed on the grounds of this? No, I don't think she should have been. I think that's a little bit of a bridge too far. I think that's a road that we don't really want to go down, to be honest. But nevertheless, right, do I think that nothing should have happened? Should she just get away scot-free as a result of it? No, and if she has, I think that's an absolute load of fucking bollocks, I have to say. Because I remember back, right, to the days of Free Thought blogs and Atheism Plus, when this started to become a big thing with regard to skeptic conferences and atheist conferences and secular and humanist conferences, and they were asking for codes of conduct. And one of the things that they were really, really hot on was that if you were invited as a speaker, you have VIP status, right, that gives you privilege, that gives you rank and status. And if you're on a panel, if you're giving a talk and you have the microphone and you're up there on stage and somebody is down there and they don't have a microphone, then effectively, if you start calling them out, if you start singling them out, right, then you're punching down, which is a real taboo thing to do now. You are misusing, you are abusing your position of power there, and that is a big no-no. And in some cases, they had this even written into the code of conduct specifically that this kind of thing was not acceptable. I don't believe that that is the case at VidCon. I don't think that that was written into the code of conduct. But nevertheless, it is very much within the ethos of this code of conduct. If you look at the code of conduct they've got there, that kind of thing runs very much contrary to it. And I am quite certain, right, call me a little bit of a cynical cunt if you like, but if this had been the other way around, if this had been a bloke on stage, if this had been Sargon of Akkad on stage, and this had been a woman like Anita Sarkeesian sat in the audience and he'd singled her out and called her a piece of human garbage, using his status as one of the speakers and using the microphone and the elevation of being on stage, they would have slammed down on him like a ton of fucking bricks. And just the simple fact that he's got a cock and ball between his legs and a fucking beard shouldn't really make any difference, should it? Because these policies are supposed to apply equally to all of us. That is the point of living in a society that is going to be equal and just, is it not? I don't think they should have no-platformed her, but what they should have done is, and what they still can do, I think, is to make a statement and say that this is not acceptable with regard to our speakers. They accept that people can have negative feelings towards people, that sure, it's fine for Anita Sarkeesian to regard Sargon of Akkad as a piece of human garbage, but it is not fine when she is on stage behind a microphone to abuse that position of authority to do that. I would have liked to have seen them ask her to make an apology, right, for it. And if she wasn't prepared to make an apology, then, well, what are you going to do? What I would like at that point is, that is the point when you go public and you make it absolutely clear that what she did was unacceptable, that it breaches the ethos of their code of conduct, and if anybody else does this in future, then they will be asked not to speak. They will be told they will not be speaking again. Maybe they also ought to consider whether she speaks at few. This isn't no platforming, right? Because you're not no platforming somebody if you don't invite them in the first place. They may wish to consider whether she's a suitable person to invite to future VidCons to talk, if she can't control herself with regard to people in the audience that she has beef with. I think that's pretty much where I stand with regard to that. It's a really fucking dangerous path to go down, though, if we start actually having speakers removed from speaking. Don't really want to go there. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.